back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. This is a fantastic topic because if it's true, Mike, I don't know that Mecole Hardman can play in the league again. What do we have here?
Yeah, so this is a crazy story. I'll give you the bones of it, but it came out on social media that Mecole Hardman, who signed with the Jets in the offseason, was frustrated with his playing time, his role. He got beat out for the punt returner job by a rookie, Xavier Gibson, was clearly unhappy, which is why New York traded him to Kansas City in the middle of the season. But several players, including Sauce Gardner and Kenny Yeboah, along with punter Thomas Morstead, accused him of leaking game plans to opponents, Kansas City and Philadelphia, during the season. And now there's a whole kind of scuttlebutt back and forth about what should happen to Mecole Hardman moving forward. So to bring this to Cleveland, let's say, and I'm not even going to name a player because I'm not accusing anyone, obviously, but if a Cleveland Browns player was accused of leaking game plans to the Ravens or the Bengals or an opponent, what do you think the proper punishment for that situation would be?
I don't know that there is one. I can't think of anything worse a player can do.
I'm with Jay on this one. Like, how could you ever be trusted again? That's the thing.
That's why I ask, is this a career-ending injury for him?
You can't be back in my locker room. Who would want you in the locker room?
And now it's wearing the scarlet letter. Whether or not the story is true or not, there are multiple teammates and multiple media outlets that have looked into this that are claiming it is true.
That's man. Like,
so
that's
perception becomes
but
reality.
That's not the way to go about it, though. Like,
of course not.
Like, you could just ask for the release. I request a release,
or stay there, get your money.
Something
and
like
go to the next job, right?
Something like, why would you help?
Gee, you've been in locker rooms. Is there? Could you possibly even look a teammate in the eye again,
man?
If this was being whispered about him,
you can't do that. I'm sorry, you can't do this if you were at any job, any high-level job, like when you no longer are working there or you're disgruntled, like that's like us coming out and we go into another place and the first thing they do is say, tell us all Jay Crawford and Tyvis Powell's dirt. You're like,
yeah, that's
whoa, like what you talking about? Like, no, listen, I enjoyed my time. I don't care if that person was mean to you or there was a bad person you think. You automatically, just out of professional respect and courtesy, you'll never air nobody out. Not only did he do that, he gave him that's snitching to the highest.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gave him the game
You're essentially
plan.
a traitor.
Yeah.
You're helping the other team hand your team and your teammates a defeat because you're not happy with your personal situation. I can't think of a more selfish act a player can do.
Is he still getting paid?
He got traded to Kansas City, and he signed it wasn't a one-year deal he signed with the Jets, right?
So he's there next year.
I would imagine.
Because I'm sorry, and I know that they know him. The Chiefs players know him. This is his second trip there.
Well, he got a ring out of this deal.
Yeah, I understand that, but like, can you look at this guy and not at least raise an eyebrow?
Maybe they'll look at it and say he's loyal to us.
Nah, I'm gonna be mad. Listen,
but in the back of your
Kansas City, that was one of the two alleged teams.
In the back of your mind, you got to think if he did this once, he'll do it. He'll do it again.
Do they play those two teams? Does the Chiefs play the Jets next year?
I don't know if they do.
I don't think so, but I'll tell you in 1 second.
Well, to get to your question, Mike, which ultimately is what should the punishment be? I think the punishment would be to trade that player to your rival so you can clean his clock twice a year.
That's what I was getting at. The punishment's going to be if they play the Jets or he's playing against guys. He better watch himself. And I'm not saying it just because I ain't got no dog in the horse or horse on the show. He better watch it because dudes take that seriously. And he might, going across the middle.
He might get a cheap shot.
He's going to get a couple.
Yeah, when I first read the story, I read the headline, and I'm like, this can't.
That's why I said
true.
There's no way this is true.
But the more I read, the more I was like, man, there's a lot of smoke around this story.
Wow.
It doesn't always mean it's true, but if it's not true, it's a coordinated conspiracy to tarnish this man's name.
I asked you, would you take him on the Browns?
No, I don't want him.
What are you talking about?
Would you take him on the Browns?
No.
See, that
Kansas City would be the only team that he plays for.
Yes.
That's the punishment right here, because there's a bunch of people around the country saying the same thing. Would we take him on our team? And they're like, no, not if he's doing that.
No, you can't trust him.
We're out of time. Thanks for watching the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We're back Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. See you then.
Peace.